I wanted to record a quick supplementary video that demonstrates the difference between macroevolution and microevolution. This is figure 1222 in your text, as you can see at the bottom, I'm sure. And it's pretty descriptive by itself, but this is the animation I showed in class. Just wanted to make a quick video. So what we see here is that we're starting with an initial organism. This is the ancestor of all of the organisms that are going to evolve from this process. Now I know it's a green hexagon, but this is a good demonstration, so take my word for it. So we start with this green hexagon, and over time the environment is slightly changing, and that means that it has to develop adaptations that are going to help it survive. So in this case, the adaptations that help it survive are turning a little bit darker colored, maybe changing shape slightly, because the ones that are successful are surviving and reproducing. And over time, we see the same thing, and we're just going to follow the green hexagon by itself for now. And over time, we see slight changes again, and over more time, more changes, until now we see a pretty distinct shape and color, right? A blue square. We have these transitional, we see similarities between the blue square and this kind of teal, almost square. We see similarities here between this one and its ancestor, and this one and this ancestor. But the green hexagon and the blue square don't really resemble each other. And these right here are microevolution, the slight changes from generation to generation. So let's continue on. The blue square has to evolve and adapt to its current environment. So it's going to change slightly generation to generation until we have the modern product, whatever that organism or whatever that shape happens to be here. And it happens to be kind of a large yellow circle. And we see that the large yellow circle kind of resembles this khaki colored squared circle, I guess, just as this one resembles its ancestors, etc., etc. These are microevolution, but here to here is macroevolution. It's the big picture, the snapshot. We can think of the fossil record as being macroevolution as well. So let's take a look at what this looks like with speciation events. So we're going to start with a green hexagon yet again, and we see some evolution over time, some adaptation. And then we have a speciation event, a literal fork in this evolutionary road. It kind of looks like that evolutionary trees that we have been examining. Here's our hexagon, right? Our green hexagon down here. And here is the fork in the road, the speciation event. It leads to a divergence. And we see that both this shape here resembles its ancestor, and this shape here resembles its ancestor, but in different ways, because they've needed different adaptations. So let's continue. Now we're at blue square, and blue square obviously resembles this, and this kind of pointy shape resembles this. They're different, but they do resemble their ancestors. And as we move back, they still resemble this ancestor, right? This fork in the road. Now we have a second speciation event. We have another fork in our evolutionary tree, right? And this is how it looks. We've got one here, we see a divergence, and then we have another fork in the road. And we could follow these forks to the ancestors and to the offspring. So again, this one kind of resembles this one, just as this resembles this, and this resembles this, right? We're seeing progression in different environments. And if we continue on, we continue to see slight changes from parent to offspring, here, here, and here. And then finally, we end up with our product, which is the red triangle, the yellow circle, and the orange star. Now, they all resemble their ancestors, their direct ancestors here, as we can clearly see. Similar, but not exactly the same, just as we are similar, but not exactly the same as our parents. But if we take a snapshot of what that looks like in macroevolution, we see this. We see that they're not similar at all. These are very distinct shapes and colors. And this is our macroevolution. This is showing the big picture of evolution over long periods of time. So there's our full figure again, showing the full progression, and here is our figure from the text, 1222. Anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this demonstration, and I hope it makes macro and microevolution a little bit clearer. Thanks for watching.